Hey and welcome back to the channel. My name is Salvatore Rex. Today we're going to be talking about how to do a tabled riffle shuffle. Now, it's a really simple shuffle, it's a really elegant shuffle, and it's going to help us as we move on when we piece together these more simple moves to make more complex tricks out of them. You're going to need to know how to do some of these things, and one of those important building blocks is learning how to do a riffle shuffle on the table. So I'm going to swing the camera around so you can get my view, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so doing a tabled riffle shuffle is pretty easy. All you need to do is first, you're having the deck facing sideways like this. You're going to come over with your index fingers on top of the deck, break it in about half. And you're going to connect the corners. The corners are a lot of people will come in straight like this, but really what we're doing is we're riffling the corners and pushing everything else together. So you're going to pick up, you're going to align both corners, pick up both sides, and start letting the cards fall from your thumbs. Like that. And then just square up. You can use the corners, pinch the corners to sort of get that nice square look. I'll show you one more time. We break it in half, line up the corners, pick up, and then let the cards fall one at a time off of our thumbs. Now, just to show you some alternative ways of looking at it, some people prefer to keep their thumbs as close to the corners as possible, give them a lot of control. I definitely am in that camp, but there are also some people who want it to look like, you know, there's nothing fishy possibly going on, so they keep their hands all the way back here about halfway down the card and riffle this way. It's really personal preference where on the card you choose to hold. As long as you're holding roughly about the same distance on each card, it shouldn't matter. So if you're choked up, then choke up on both cards. If you're, you know, all the way back here, be all the way back here on both cards. So as long as it's symmetrical, it doesn't really matter. The only tricky part is going to be learning how to let the cards fall one at a time off of your thumb. So what I would say to do is just cut the pack in two and do this a few times. Until you really get used to what it feels like to have each card fall off of the deck one at a time off of your thumb, because you don't want to get a clumpy shuffle because it doesn't look very good and it's not very nice. So you try to get it as close as you can to a real weave, and that's just going to be practicing this feeling. Just letting the cards one at a time fall off of your thumb tips. And let them, you know, after you align the corners, you let them fall together. And then square up and use those corners to get the deck nice and neat and even. So closing thoughts, I'll keep this short because this is a super simple video. There's really not that much to talk about. It's just getting the mechanics down and doing it a lot. When I first learned this move, I basically spent 3 days doing nothing but practicing it and getting my shuffle as nice looking as I could possibly get it, because I had an interest in doing tabled magic. Now, if you have an interest in doing tabled magic, I highly recommend that you practice the hell out of this move. It's really your bread and butter when it comes to anything involving gambling sleights, anything involving tabled magic, classic magic. This is gonna be your ticket. So practice it a lot, know it. For those of you who want to do like street magic or card magic in the hands, it's less important, but it's still good to know because there are some effects you might still want to be able to do on a close-up pad. So that's about all the thoughts I've got for on the tabled riffle shuffle. There's going to be some tutorials coming up that use this shuffle. One I already posted and one I'm going to be posting next week. So I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I had something to point to. So if anybody needed to learn it, there was a resource on my channel for you to learn it. So I didn't just leave you out there in the great vast nothingness of YouTube. So I appreciate you watching the video, And if you have any questions, as always, put them in the comments. I will answer them. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so already, and like the video if you don't mind, because it helps me out a lot. Otherwise, besides that, you guys take care of each other.